Hello everyone, hope all of you are doing great. And in today's video, we are going to discuss Stage 9, Paper 1, 2026, which is the progression test. All right, the first question over here, it says to you, a prism has a cross-section that is a regular pentagon. Okay, so they want you to write down the number of planes of symmetry. Since it is a pentagon, so the cross section is a pentagon, then definitely I can have here five planes of symmetry. So I'm going to write over here five planes of symmetry, but this is not the final answer. Why? Because actually, yes, I can draw for each, from each vertex, I can draw a plane of symmetry. So I go over here, one, two, three, four, five planes of symmetry. But in the middle as well, you can draw also over here the other plane of symmetry. So if you keep going the other way around the pentagon or around the 3D shape halfway through it this way, that will add another plane of symmetry. So in total, you're going to have six planes of symmetry. The cross-section of the prism has an area of 8 meters squared. The height is 2 meters. Find the volume. We all learned that the volume is area of cross-section multiplied by height. The area of the cross-section they said to you is 8. So it is 8 multiplied by the height they're saying to you is 2. So equals 16 meters cubed. This is the final answer. Here they're saying to you that the letter of the arrow that points to square root of 10 is what? Pointing to square root of 10, it means here that they want the nearest integer. The nearest integer is actually square root of 9, which is 3. So it's closer to 3. The closest integer to it is 3. Mike tries to work out 7 minus 3 multiplied by square root of 49 plus 4. Here is his solution. There is a mistake that he made. Actually, he started with doing the root, which is square root of 49, 7. Perfect. Because we're supposed to start with brackets, but we don't have any brackets over here. Then exponents or roots. After that, we do multiplication or division in order from left to right. So you start from left to right. Whatever comes first is done first. All right, after that, we have addition or subtraction, also in order from left to right. But what he has done over here, he's done the root perfectly. So this one is correct. But after that, he started with subtraction. He was supposed to start with multiplication. So the mistake is here. All right, the next question. So actually, yes, the rest are also wrong, but they want from you the first mistake only. Work out 7 minus 3 multiplied by square root of 49 plus 4. So here we're supposed also to start with the root. So 7 minus 3 multiplied by 7 plus 4. Then 7 minus 21 plus 4. Then you must do 7 minus 21, which is actually going to give you negative 14 plus 4 equals negative 10. Here, we wanted the line of best fit. They wanted to draw the line of best fit, so I'm going to draw it this way. It goes halfway through the majority of the points. Halfway through the majority of the points. After that, so this is the first one. Sorry. Let me erase this. After that, we finished this one. Complete the statement using a correct word from the list. So it is negative. Okay, the line is moving with me. So I'm going to actually right now erase the line. You already had a look at it right now. So the relation or the correlation, it is actually that it is negative. So what you're supposed to do over here is that you write negative correlation. So it is negative correlation. Let me clear the annotation. Next, the thing to give your answer as a fraction in its simplest form. So 1 is actually, we're supposed to know that it is 5 over 5. So 5 over 5 minus 2 over 5 is 3 over 5 divided by 5 over 5 minus 1 over 5, which is 4 over 5. So 3/5 multiplied by 5 over 4. You can simplify any numerator with any denominator before multiplication. So this divided by 5 is 1, divided by 5 is 1. So you get 3 over 4. The next question, they want y. So I can find here this third angle. 52 plus 90 is going to give you exactly 142. So 142 minus it from 180. So I got 180 minus 142. It is going to give you exactly 38 degrees. So this is 38. Yes, mister, this is vertically opposite with this. So this is also 38. Vertically opposite angles. All right, mister, here we got an isosceles triangle. They said that this is equal to this. So this triangle has three sides, okay? This and this are equal. The third side has the two equal angles. So this one is equal to this one. If this y, then this one is also y, okay? So the angles of the third different side are equal. All right, so this is 38. So we do 180 minus 38 is going to give you exactly 142 degrees. But this is for both of them. So it's 142 degrees divided by 2, which is going to give you exactly 71 degrees. So this is 71 degrees. You multiply here first by first, and then first by second. So x squared plus 8x. Then second by first, second by second, plus 4x plus 32. So the answer is x squared. 8x plus 4x is 12x plus 32. The saying that shape A is translated by the factor 4, 5 to shape B, which means here the first number represents the change that happened to the x. The second number here represents the change that happened to the y coordinates. So this is positive. It means that it moved to the right 4 steps. So this one here means 4 steps right. If it was negative, it would have been 4 steps left. And this one here is 5 steps up because it's the y coordinate, the change in the y. So if it was negative, it would have been 5 steps down. So I'm going to move this 4 steps right and 4 right, 5 up. So 4 right, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up is going to be here. So instead of this one here, it is going, I moved it 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 up. It's going to be here. Then just copy the shape. So I'm going to get a straight line. Here we go. I'm going to move here 2 steps exactly. Pencil and a ruler. You must use a pencil here. Not really accurate. This one here. After that, you draw a line. Then here, I got 2 down. I got this one here. And here is the last side. And I'm going to label it with what? Label it. 1 second. B. They said to you this is shape B. All right, shape B is translated by the vector 2, -1 to shape C, which means it moved 2 steps to the right and 1 step down. So 2 steps to the right, 1 step down, it is going to be here. So this point is going to actually to start from here. And I'm going to draw this shape, the same shape exactly. Go down, 3 squares, right, 2 squares, down, 1. Then here you got 1, 2. That's it. So this is shape C. All right. Definitely this is going to move with me. So this is the final answer before I start moving. Before I delete it, I'm going to erase everything. Let's go. Next question here says to you, points A is 0, 8, and B, 420, are shown on the diagram. They want you to find the coordinates of the point that lies 1/4. So 1/4, I need 1/4 of x. Well, here we got x1 and y1. Here we got x2 and y2. All right, so I want the difference between the two x's. So what is the change that happened from x1 to x2? It's from 0 until 4. So it's 4 actually. So I want 1/4. So that's to find x. Find x. I want 1/4 of the change that happened to x. From 0 to 4 is 4. Then you add it to x1. Add it to x1, which is actually 0. So I'm going to add it to 0 instead. Just a second. I'm going to add it to 0 then. So 1/4 of 4 is just 1, plus 0, which is 1. Next, 1/4 of from 8, so this is now to find y. 1/4 of the change that happened to y. From 8 to 20, it changed 12. So from 8 to 20, 12 steps. So I want 1/4 of the change that happened, which is 12, then plus y1. Y1 is what? What is y1? It is 8. So what is 1/4 of 12? 12 divided by 4 is 3, plus 8 is 11. Okay. This way will always work with you. There are easier ways. Yes, I agree. Some of you might think I'm going to find the midpoint, and from this midpoint, I'm going to find the other midpoint. Yes, this is acceptable in case of quarter, but if they change this, they say, for example, 3/5 of the line, you're going to get stuck. You will not be able to find a way out of this. You will have to follow this way. So this way always works. P to the power of 7 times P to the power of 3 is P to the power of 10. And this one over here, we're going to subtract that indices. So 14 minus 2 is going to become 12. They want you to complete the stem and leaf diagram. Here we have, with the 3, they told you already the key. The key that is that this one is the tens. So they're telling you represents a height of 72. So here, this is 2, and this is 7. For the new fertilizer, you're going to find that this is actually 72. So they're telling you that the stem is the tens. This is from the key. All right, let's continue. Do we have 30 something in the table? Any 30s? No, we don't have any 30s. So nothing in the first row. Do I have any 40s? No 40s. Thank you. Any 50s? Yes. I got 52. I got 50. I got 54. I got no other 50s. So you need to write them in order. So 50, then 52, then 54. The order is extremely important. If you change the order, it is wrong. All right. Now we finish the 50s. What about the 60s? I got here 61, I got 68, I got 66, and I got 68 and 68 again. So the smallest of them all is 61. We're done with this. Then I got here 66. After that, I got 68, 68, 68, 3 68s. The 70s, I got 72 and 75. Use the table to complete the back-to-back stem and leaf diagram. We're done. Find the height of the tallest plant grown with all the fertilizer. Well, the height of the tallest, it means here I wanted the biggest number, which is actually 73. Jamila says the plant heights are more varied when using the new fertilizer. Draw a ring around the statistic you would use to show that she is not correct. What would you use? Once you see that they're talking about variation, whether they say variation, they say it's more varied, it's less varied, it is more variable, it is less variable, it doesn't change that much, the data doesn't change, or the data changes a lot. Once you see any of these things, that definitely means you're talking about the range. So range is actually the one that you should use in order to determine if she's correct or not correct. Complete the sentence, describe fully the single transformation that maps shape P onto shape Q. So from shape P to shape Q, what happened? An enlargement. Very good. But enlargement of what? If enlargement was not written, you must write it. But here they wrote it already for you. So scale factor what? This side was only 2. It became actually 6. So it is scale factor 3. All right. Next. Is that it? No, not only scale factor. Scale factor, and we wanted the center of enlargement. Center of enlargement what? What is the center of enlargement? We need to find it. In order to find it, you need to do this. Draw straight lines. Here you go. Here's a straight line between the corresponding points. So, for example, this point over here is the same as this here in the old shape. So I'm going to draw a line that connects both points, this one and this one, but finish it until the end. Make sure that the line passes through them all. Good. Through the 2 vertices, I mean. I need another line. So this one over here, this point, this vertex, is actually the same as this one in the old shape. So I'm going to connect both of them with a straight line. Let's go. Here you go. All right. Mister, do I need to continue connecting each vertex? 2 are enough, actually. 2 points are enough. If you want to make sure if you're correct or not, you can use a third. So a third point also would be much better, to be honest with you. So for example, here I have this vertex, which is actually here, this vertex. Connect them with a straight line. So here you go. Okay. Where do all the lines meet? All of them meet where? You're going to find that all of them meet here, right? All of them meet at this point. This is actually the point of intersection for the 3 lines you drew. So this is the center of enlargement. It is x with 5, and the y is actually 4. So 5, 4. Let's go. By completing the table of values, draw the graph y equals x squared minus 1. Before even completing the table and before drawing the graph, I know that this cannot be a straight line. Cannot be a straight line. Why? Because this is not a linear function. This is not linear. Linear are straight lines. Linear is a straight line. This is quadratic. It is quadratic because the power of x is 2. So I definitely know that I'm going to have a parabola. Okay? The line will look this way, and I cannot use a ruler. So let's start here answering the question. -1. So -1 squared is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. And 2 here squared is 4. Minus 1 is 3. I need now to plot them. -1, 0 is here. 0, -1. Then you got 1, 0. Then you got 2, 3. Then you got 3, 8. Then you must connect them without a ruler, with a pencil, without a ruler. It is a parabola. You cannot use a ruler. That's it. Okay. Use a pencil in order to fix something like this. I'm going to need you to use a pencil as agreed and no ruler. Why? It is quadratic. Quadratic. So it is parabola. You're going to have a parabola. Use a ruler and a pair of compasses to construct an angle of 30 degrees. I'm going to need just to open this application. It's going to help me answer this question. Here we go. All right, they want 30 degrees. So what I'm supposed to do actually is that I get my compasses and I open it the same line exactly, the same length as the whole line, exactly the same length as the whole line. Then I go up and I draw an arc this way, and then I go the other side of that line and I draw another arc. This way, I can draw an equilateral triangle. This way, I can draw a 60-degree angle, a 60-degree angle. All right, so here I drew a 60-degree angle, but they want a 30-degree angle. So what am I supposed to do? Bisect it. So how can I bisect? To bisect, you do this. So let me first erase the 60. And then open the line any distance on this, open the compasses any distance on the line. So I'm going to choose this distance, for example. And then you draw an arc over here, the same length exactly, another arc over here. Then you just put the compasses on this arc. You draw this, and then you put it on the other arc, and inside you draw this. You need to memorize these steps. Now I drew what? The bisector. I bisected my angle. So now this is 30 degrees, right here, 30 degrees. You get the 2 marks. If it doesn't look neat to you, well, it looks neat to the examiner and to the person who's going to correct it. Don't erase it. If you think about erasing the arcs, then you're going to take a 0. So keep the arcs there. Let's get back to the paper. This is a simultaneous equation. I can answer it actually in one of the 2 ways. I can say to you here that I'm going to multiply this by 4 to get rid of the x or to eliminate the x, or you can multiply up by, or you can multiply down by 2 to eliminate the y. Both ways will lead you to the same answer. So I'm going to choose to eliminate the x first. Fine. Not actually a big deal. So I'm going to rewrite the equations for x plus 8y equals 0. And I'm going to multiply down. We agreed by 4. So it's going to be 4x plus 16y equals 12. Now we can subtract. Why? Why not add? Because actually I need to eliminate the x. So for us to eliminate the x here, in this case, it's for x minus 4x that is going to eliminate them. 8y minus 16y is negative 8y equals 0 minus 12 is negative 12. So y equals negative 12 divided by negative 8 is going to give you exactly positive 1.5. So x is 1.5. Mr. I wrote it as a fraction. Fine, no problem. 1.5. Accepted. But I'm going to take the y and substitute in one of the 2 equations. So x plus 4 multiplied by 1.5 equals 3. So x, 4 times 1.5, you can do it mentally, or you can just do 1.5 times 4, normal multiplication, is going to give you exactly 6 equals 3. So x equals 3 minus 6 is negative 3. So y is negative 3. Do you want to check? You can check by substituting. If you have no time and you're running out of time, then move on to the next question. We agreed before in other questions that if you multiply the 30 by smaller than 1, how can I know that this is smaller than 1? It's proper fraction. So proper fractions are always smaller than 1. Okay, so 30 multiplied by smaller than 1, definitely less than 30. 30 multiplied by improper, well, this is greater than 1, so it's definitely going to get greater. 30 divided by greater than 1, well, normal division actually is going to give me a smaller answer, so this is going to be less than 30. If it was divided by smaller than 1, then definitely it's what's going to be greater, which is the opposite of the normal of division. Division makes it smaller. Yes, unless you divide by smaller than one, then it makes it bigger. It makes the answer bigger. Here, I'm dividing something that is very small by something that is very big. Definitely, the answer is just naturally going to be smaller than one, not smaller than 30, smaller than one whole. This one is small divided by big. Definitely, the answer is smaller than one, not just smaller than 30. Yes, definitely smaller than 30 and smaller than one as well. Here, write this in standard form. So I'm going to write over here 4.52 because I need an answer that is actually, it cannot be this way. It needs to be between 1 and 10. So here, 4.52, you multiply by 10 to the power of what? Okay, I moved here 3 digits, then 6 digits, 7 digits. So it is 4.52 times 10 to the power of 7. I need to make sure that I wrote the sign correctly. Did I hear, if you multiply this by 10 to the power of 7, what is the final answer going to be? I'm going to move it 1 digit to the right, 2 digits to the right. Well, I need 5 more zeros, which are here. So yes, I got this right. Here, 0.3 multiplied by 10.5. I need this to be 3 times 10 to the power of. Well, some people here get confused actually, and I'm going to do something with you that help you also get rid of that confusion. Some people say, Mister, I'm going to move it to the right, so 1 digit, so I'm going to add here 1 to the index, and they think that it is going to be 10 to the power of 6. If you fall in this confusion every time, you must answer the question every time in the ordinary form. If you multiply by 10 to the power of 5, this is going to be 3. I move it 1 digit to the right. I need 4 more digits, 30,000. If you do this, it's going to give you 3 and 6 zeros. Oh, I made a mistake. Definitely, this is not the same as this. So just to be sure that if you move the decimal point to the right to make it a standard form, you minus one from the index. So 5 minus 1 is going to give you a 4. So this is actually a 4. I'm going to read this too. This is 10 to the power of 4. You move the decimal ones to the right. Then to make it standard form, you minus 1 from the index. If you want to check, we agree this is 30,000. If you do this right now, it's going to give you also 30,000. Yes, I am right. I'm not going to be confused or leave my answer with the correct index, with the wrong index. Question 18a. Yuri has a bag which contains exactly 10 discs that are red, green, or orange. There are 7 red discs in the bag. So 7 red, which is 0.7. 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. Yuri chooses a disc at random. The probability of Yuri choosing a green is 0.1, which is 1 out of 10. So here we know the probability of red is 7 over 10. We know the probability of green, which is 1 over 10. We need now to know the probability of the orange. Well, it's the rest is 7 over 10, and 1 over 10 is 8 over 10 together. So it is 2 over 10. Or you can just write 1 over 5 in the simplest form. They're telling you here that the blue is 12. What is the probability of blue? The pink is 3 over 5. Well, I know now that definitely it's only blue and pink. The probability of pink is 3 over 5. So the probability of blue is 2 over 5. Right? So I want to know, Mr. What is this going to be? Well, I need to know the total number of discs. Total number of discs is what? I know that 2/5 of the total, let's say it's x. 2 over 5 of the total is 12. What is x? Of means the multiplication, send it their division. So x equals 12 divided by 2/5. So it is 12 multiplied by 5 over 2. Simplify equals 30. So the total is 30. Total number of discs is 30. So what is 3/5 of 30? Now I knew the total number of discs. So this is 3/5 of 30. Simplify or divide 30 by 5 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18. x equals -2. So here you got 10 multiplied by 5 minus -2 all is squared plus -2 to the power of 4. So it is 10 multiplied by 5 minus -2 means 5 plus 2, which is 7. 7 is squared, which is 49. Plus -2 to the power of 4 is going to give you exactly 16, and it's positive 16 because this is an even power. So it is positive 16. So it's 490 plus 16, which is 506. Solving this inequality, I'm going to add there the 3 and send there also the 3. So it's plus 3 plus 3. So it's going to become 5x is greater than 5, less than or equal to 20. Send the 5 over there, division, here, left side and right side. So it's sending it there, division, the 5, divided by 5, divided by 5. So x is going to be alone, is greater than 1, less than or equal to 4. This is the answer. You write it here. X greater than 1, less than or equal to 4. Here, you're dividing by 10 to the power of -5. Dividing by negative power is the same as 0.012 multiplied by 10 to the power of 5. So move the decimal point 5 digits to the left, to the right, I mean. So I have already 3 digits. I need 2 more. So it is 1,200. I'm going to add 2 more zeros, moving it 5 digits to the right. Question 22 says to you, a fair 5-sided spinner and a fair 4-sided spinner are each spun. Find the probability that one spinner lands on a shaded section and the other spinner does not land on a shaded section. So I can have actually this shaded and the other unshaded. This is the first probability, which is 1 over 5. And the other is unshaded. And we said and means times. So the other is unshaded, 3 out of 4. So again, what have I done? I've done here, they said to you, and the other spinner does not land on a shaded section. We agreed that and means multiplication. Shaded times unshaded. So shaded is 1 over 5 times, because it's and, unshaded is 3 over 4. That's it, mister? No. Why? Because it could have been the opposite. It could have been this is the unshaded and this is the shaded. So I'm going to do here, this is the unshaded. So or, I got or, which is another option. We agreed that or is addition. So plus the unshaded from here, which is 4 out of 5, and which is times shaded the other one, which is 1 over 4. All of this is going to be equal to what? 1 over 5 times 3 over 4 is 3 over 20 plus 4 over 20, which is going to give you 7 over 20. And this is the probability of that one spinner lands on a shaded section and the other spinner does not land on a shaded section. The last question over here, 3 over 17. We got here a fraction that is greater than it. Let's agree on one thing. If the denominators are the same, do you remember when the denominators were the same? Like if I have here is over 6 and here over 6, if this is 4 and this is 5, we know that this is greater, right? That's if the denominators are the same. But the opposite happens actually if the denominators are the same. So if I write here 17 and I write here 16, well, which fraction is greater? Don't say this. No, the denominator here is bigger, so this fraction is smaller. Okay, so if the numerators are the same, you choose the fraction with the smaller denominator to be the biggest one. So the fraction with the smaller denominator is bigger than the fraction with the bigger denominator. This is in case the numerators are the same. Okay, so here, this means 16. Okay, so it's 3 over 17, smaller than 3 over 16. Good. How can I find this? Well, to find this one over here, let's assume that this is x. So I got 2 solutions. Let me erase what I've done here first. Let's continue. All right. I got here for this x two conditions. I got that 6 over x is greater than 3 over 16, and I got also that 6 over x is less than 1 over 5, right? How can I do this? You switch. You put the x to the other side. You send the x to the other side. Okay, so it's going to become here, instead of division, it goes there multiplication. So I got here 3x, and you send the 16 to the other side, multiplication, which is less than here. You're going to find 16 times 6 is going to give you exactly 96. So x is smaller than 32. This is one thing. I'm going to do the same thing exactly over there. X, you send it there multiplication, or you send it there as the numerator. So it becomes x times 1, which is only 1x. And at the 5, and instead of division here, I'm going to send it to the other side multiplication. So it becomes 30. So x is greater than 30 and less than 32. Well, x is 31 then. X is greater than 31 and less than 32. So as if you're saying this. What is x then? It is 31. That's the only answer that's going to work. So x here is 31. That's it. Thank you so much, everyone, and see you in another video.